What's up, friends? Today I thought we'd do a little bit of music history since it's snowing and all my gigs have canceled because the snow. So let's do this. Let's talk about Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan is an artist that has influenced every singer-songwriter, whether they wanted to be influenced by him or not. I would say no, absolutely not. I was not influenced by him, except I was influenced by all the people that were influenced by him. See, I'm not really a big fan of the Beatles per se, but I'm a big fan of the people who were big fans of the Beatles. Isn't that weird? I can't explain it. Not to sell either one of them short, Bob Dylan and the Beatles both have a great catalog of music, and they are incredibly influential. The American songbook is woven with threads from their tapestry. Let's talk about Bob Dylan selling his entire catalog of songs. Around 600 songs went for, people estimate, between $300 and $400 million. So we're looking at, that's like almost $500 million for 600 songs at that. Although I feel like he probably has written more. Here's the thing, who makes that kind of purchase? Who pays almost $500 million for songs? Somebody who thinks they can get that kind of money put back in their pocket. Once you buy someone's catalog, by the way, selling musical catalogs has been the newest thing. Paul Simon sold his works from Simon and Garfunkel and from his solo work up to a certain point. Bob Dylan has done this, and there have been others as well. Why are they doing it? That's for a little bit later. How do they plan on making money? Because you don't buy something for roughly $500 million if you don't have a plan to make that money back. Have you noticed there's been a new Bob Dylan biopic starring Timothée Chalamet is A Complete Unknown, which is a line out of his song Like a Rolling Stone, which we cover. Me and Ben have covered that for many moons. Why? Because the Replacements covered it, and we did the Replacements version of Bob Dylan's song. Because, again, I'm inspired by the people that were inspired by Bob Dylan. So strange. Anyway, the whole idea behind this, and I think you're going to see this with all these other, Bruce Springsteen's catalog and Paul Simon's, you're going to see people putting money back into this. And I'm going to tell you what's good and what's bad about that. So they're putting money into making hot star right now, Timothée Chalamet. They're going to put him in there. They made a big production of it. They're reusing the songs. And what are they going to do? They're going to make their money back. Like, that's what they're going to do. They're going to make their money back, and then they're going to make a massive profit in the process. A profit in the process. Sounds like a training for people who want to see the future. Anyway, I digress. Why do you think that they're selling their catalogs? They're selling their catalogs because, and I've thought about this a lot. I thought, would I sell my catalog? What price would I put on my catalog if I were going to sell it? Because I have probably 2,000 songs-ish, maybe more. And would I sell my catalog? The benefits of selling your catalog is if you have children, rather than fighting over who owns which song and who owns the rights to this and who owns this and who owns that, I understand why somebody in their 70s or 80s would say, yeah, I think I'm just going to get a big lump number. Because Bob Dylan songs are always going to be Bob Dylan songs. They're never not going to be. Just because somebody else owns the catalog. Somebody else owns Buddy Holly's catalog. And they have for a while. But you know what? It's still Buddy Holly. Someone may own Paul Simon's or Bruce Springsteen's or other people's, but it's still going to be, when people think back to Tom Petty, it's always going to be Tom Petty's catalog. So are they really losing anything? I mean, can you really own anything? It might be a deeper question to ask. I would say they are probably doing the smart thing, selling and not having to deal with the greed of what happens whenever someone dies. I mean, there's still going to be greed, but I imagine it'd be a lot easier to do that without all the, all your catalog is protected under a company that wants to continue pushing it into the mainstream, and that's what A Complete Unknown is doing. Children now who think Timothée Chalamet is, the admirable person right now, which I'm not knocking him. I think I've enjoyed him in Dune and Willy Wonka. I think he's a great talent. But I think that you use something that's popular to make things more popular. So Bob Dylan's catalog is now going to become even more popular with children. And is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I don't know. It's a thing, It's a smart idea. If I were a businessman who just sunk $500 million into a catalog of 600 songs, you can bet your hiney I'd do everything I could just to make sure that that catalog was thrust into the minds of children, so that they would be inundated, be peppered and sprinkled in with them growing up. You know, I mean, that's, and as a songwriter, what more can you ask for? That people would remember your songs, that people would keep on singing "The Answer, My Friend, Is Blowing in the Wind." The times they are changing, and songs like that, by the way, that early Bob Dylan stuff, I love that, because you could take the song "Times Are Changing," and I've covered that song, and you can put it today, and it says the exact same thing. It says that the future's coming, and you might as well get out of the way. It's a great song, great, well-written song. So cold. Interesting factoid that Bob Dylan wouldn't probably have been so popular had a little fellow by the name, not really little, fellow Johnny Cash introduced him to mainstream America on his show, The Johnny Cash Show. So that's how you can invest $500 million to get, probably before it's all over with, several $billions in streaming royalties and in all the other avenues that people make money, well, companies make money via music these days. I thought I'd share that with you. I thought it was interesting, and I look forward to seeing some more, Paul Simon being one of my favorites, I look forward to seeing Paul's music celebrated over and over again throughout the days, throughout the ages. Although his catalog is so big that it deserves several movies. Just saying. All right, off I go.